Hello guys, this is Avcoor, and I want to share my thoughts on Sephiroth. I think he's a really great character. Honestly, I think he's one of the best characters in the game. The problem is people don't really know how to use Sephiroth, and they're kind of misplaying him. And I played a lot of it free as of late, and I've seen Sephiroth, and people are learning how to play him. But I see some content creators gassing Sephiroth up, and I don't think that's right. I think they're good content creators. I'm not like criticizing them, but Sephiroth is good, but he's not like God tier. It's not like he's a must summon character. He is not a must summon character. And in this video, I'm going to explain why he's good, but ultimately why he's not a must summon character. And at the very end, I'm going to explain to you what you should do instead of summoning this guy. Because there's something we all should do instead of summoning this guy. So let's get into it. What makes Sephiroth good? Sephiroth is a well-constructed magical DPS. He is the strongest magical DPS in the game. For the simple fact is, just for on the base level, his magic attack is the highest. If you compare his magic attack to other people, you will see that he is the strongest magical DPS in the game. They just gave him the stats to do it. Before we even get into skills and stuff, they just gave him the stats. He has the strongest magic attack in the game. And he has a serviceable HP stat, which people don't really seem to talk about. But this guy has a serviceable HP stat. But the problem with Sephiroth is sometimes people will sacrifice his HP to raise up his DPS. And there's a couple of reasons why you would want to do that. And that's what makes him a hard character to build and to play. You run into that same flaw that you have with Cloud. The biggest debate with Cloud is how high should his HP be in relation to his attack. And that same problem exists with Sephiroth. How high should his HP be in relation to his magic attack? Because there has to be a balance there for you to effectively use him. So let's look at Sephiroth's skin and his weapon. Let's start there. Because Sephiroth actually has a really great skin. Edge Wings Training Guard. I don't like the look of it, but Boost Magic Attack +5 is a good start. But Frostblade Arcanum actually gives him 35% ice damage, which is really, really good. That's really, really good. So it's kind of like Cloud, where Cloud actually gets 35% lightning damage. That's really good. That is really good. That allows him to effectively use ice attacks with frightening efficiency. So we're already at a good start with his costume. I'm not really going to criticize the fact that there's not any HP, because he's a DPS. If you're looking for high HP units, that's like Lucia and Barret and Red 13. So if you're looking for that, that's where that is at. And we look at his first weapon. Edge Wings, I think, will be like the go-to weapon for Sephiroth. I'm going to show you why right here. Look how much damage he gets on his magic. 800% magic damage at max at OV10, which is really good. Boost ice potential 36, boost magic attack 40. That's already a solid weapon, and magic attack for 549. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And his support material has Sigil Boost Break. This is for a Freak. I kind of think they made him to be a Freak killer, and I don't think that was the best way to go, because a Freak is only going to last for like a week or so, and then we're going to move on to other things. Hopefully in the dungeon we have some Sigil Boost weak units in there. Attack boost is really good. I think attack boost for any of this man's equipment is really good, because he likes to use magic attack, and anything that allows him to flex between those two is really good. So I think this is one of his best main weapons. We're going to talk about a weapon that I think actually makes him very, very good, and we'll talk about that later. So let's go into his other weapons. Let's go to wish list. And let's go to we'll talk about that later. So let's go to Garid. So Garid is not the best weapon for Sephiroth for the simple fact that it's doing 350 physical. It's all enemies though, which is really good, but the prize here is his R abilities. Boost physical attack is really good. Boost limit break potency is really good. So the R abilities are excellent on this weapon. The physical attack is solid too. But there's something here that is very juicy. And that's the attack boost earth. Earth ability damage plus 30%. This is really juicy. And we're going to talk about later on why attack boost earth and the water attack boosts are so key for you to really use Sephiroth to his maximum potential. So we have attack boost and attack boost. This is what you want to see on his weapon. I don't like the main skill, but the rest of it is really good. And you're going to notice that he has a very good selection of weapons. So we have an Ayanabi. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Okay, I can't pronounce it, dude. So Frenzy Stance. This is a good skill, but it takes a lot of skill to use it. So what do you mean by that, Avcoor? Why would this take so much skill to use? Well, the skill in it is timing. Like, when I see like better players play Sephiroth, they always time this skill right after the enemy does something. So they can have a cooldown where there's a lapse where they don't need to attack. And then they build this up and then they start to attack. Frenzy Stance is the better of the two stances. One is defensive, one is offensive. But Frenzy Stance is by no means something you should look over because it does define Sephiroth's playstyle. First of all, your magic attack is increased and the potency is high at max stars, which you really wanted at max stars. And the duration is extended by 14 seconds. The max potency is high on Regan, which is really good. And then you get a small little heal. People who play this actually go into defense step, then cast Frenzy Stance to get the most healing. Excuse me. And then they go back into an offensive form, and then they start attacking. There's a reason for that. Because you get boost HP, which is really good. I like the fact that this has boost HP, and you get boost ability potential. So that means when your gauge is max, you do more damage, which is really good. This also has heal boost on it, which is really impressive. I think this is impressive because if you want to main hand this weapon, which you shouldn't, but if you had to, just say if you had to, you get 2 magic attacks here, and you get 1 heal. That's not bad. So overall, if you were like stuck with this weapon, it's not bad to have. It's not bad. It should be second hand. But if you're on a budget, it's not bad to main hand it. So we get Northern Lights here. Another physical weapon. The reason why this weapon is good is for the R abilities. You get boost fire resistance and you get boost magic defense. I'll talk about this in another video, but with the defensive stats, you always want to pair a defensive stat with either HP or elemental resist. Because on its own, it's not that good. Because in order to get the most out of it, it's got to hit 55, and I doubt the way we build characters in this game, that's really possible. So if it's paired with another weapon, then it's very effective. Radiant Aura is a good non-physical, non-elemental damage weapon, and it increases your physical attack. It also decreases the physical attack of the enemy, which is really good. Now, this is a very solid weapon. I don't want people to overlook this weapon. This is actually really good. Should it be main hand? Sometimes it will be. Sometimes it will be, but because of our abilities, I don't think you should main hand it. The skill is good for the main hand, but the R ability is not so good. Unless you pair this fire resistance with something else in the magic defense. So of course you get attack boost here, which is what we want to see, because it allows you to be flexible with Sephiroth. But honestly, if you really want to go full offensive, you're looking for magic attack boost. And the physical attack boost is good. So it's a solid weapon, not his best. Not nearly his best. So we get into the AoE side of things. And this weapon is super good. Why is it super good? This is why it's super good. You get boost magic attack and boost fire potential. That's really good. That is very solid. Because you're good with ice, you're good with fire, and the other weapon is really good with thunder, and you're good with water and earth. That means he is a very flexible offensive unit. And that's how you have to see Sephiroth. It's not just about doing damage. It's about doing elemental damage and maximizing those effects. He has some non-elemental options, but you're really looking to do elemental damage in order to maximize his overall output. So when we look at where it goes, you get boost fire potential at 9. Then you hit 24, which is really good. And then you're hitting 40 and 36. This is really good. These R abilities are so sweet on this weapon. And Firaga, you really do want an AoE unit. And the fact that he can fill that spot shows how good of a character they made him to be. And we're seeing all the good stuff here. We're seeing attack boost, magic attack boost. We're seeing all the good stuff. And when we get into this video later, you're going to want magic attack boost on his weapons, because that's the key to unlocking his true potential. So this is one of his better weapons. This is like a main hand weapon. Like, this is the main hand weapon. This is the main hand weapon. And this is the main hand weapon too. CC Alloy's Sword is another AoE weapon that boosts magic attack and boosts elemental potential, which is kind of freaking amazing that they gave him such a good array of weapons. So, like I said, it's the same thing as the fire weapon, boost magic attack, boost lightning potential. All of it's good. No complaints here. Yep, 40, 48, 27, no complaints. Really, really good. Just super good. We get only 1 magic attack boost and 2 attack boosts, which is fair. I don't think they want to make him too broken, and I'm glad that they didn't. So that's a really good weapon. So he has 3 weapons that you would want to main hand. So we got Mythal type 0 Canana. This is the weaker stance, steadfast stance, because you increase his physical defense. I don't think increasing like your defensive stat is not meta yet, so I don't think it's really important. But he does get Reagan, and he casts a physical heal. The R abilities are where they're at because he gets boost HP and he gets boost magic ability potential. So this is a very strong second hand weapon. So let's upgrade this thing and see how far it goes. Yeah, this is what you want for either in the sub slot. You want this in your sub slot, or you want this as a second hand weapon. But this boosts HP and boosts magic ability potential. Super great stuff. So you get attack boost, you get attack boost and magic attack boost. These are really good, but you kind of don't want this to be your main hand weapon. So before we get to the weapon I want to talk about, is Model 1 Shimmer Blade. This weapon is super important for one simple fact. You get boost magic attack. You get boost attack and you get boost ability potential. These are really great R abilities. He gets a wide variety of really great R abilities. I don't think it's fair, but it is what it is. He is Sephiroth, so whatever. And here is the kicker. This is why this is a main hand weapon. You're dealing 940% magic, non-elemental damage with this weapon. That's absolutely insane. The damage multiplier on this is absolutely ridiculous. This is a definite main hand weapon. And we'll go into why this is even a better main hand weapon. Because you're getting attack boost water, which allows him to do 30% extra damage with water. This is so important because there's a certain way you should play Sephiroth, and this plays into why you should play him that way. Magic attack boost, magic attack boost. This is the best weapon, I think, for Sephiroth. I know people are like using the aerial blade, whatever. I think that's trash. It's good, but not as good as this. And I know the magic attack is a little lower, but the multiplier on his skill is so busted. There's no way you're going to ignore 940% magic non-elemental damage. There's absolutely no way. That's insane. And you get an attack boost water, so if you wanted to use an element, it's basically secondary water elemental sword. Because the way Sephiroth works, he wants this. If you really want to understand Sephiroth, he wants this. And we're going to talk about that real soon. So let's go back to Nameless. Why do I think Nameless is such a great weapon for Sephiroth? It's not the fact that it's powerful. That's not it. Look at the ATB on Telluric Fury. That's insane. Sephiroth has a big problem. Is his speed. Certain attacks just take too long to cast. Like the weapon everybody's talking about, the ice weapon, it takes too long to cast. You need a fast option. And Telluric Fury actually is a magical debuff for 2 ATB, which is really, really good. If you're going to really use Sephiroth, if you're really going to take this guy to the next level, Nameless needs to be one of those weapons you keep in the back of your mind. Because it's doing so much for Sephiroth, and more importantly, it's doing something for the party. If you wanted to build a magic attack party, we're looking at Aeris. Aeris needs all the help she can get offensively. I swear, she is so crippled when it comes to attack speed that something like this actually makes Sephiroth a team player where when you look at some of his abilities, he's pretty freaking selfish. He's pretty freaking selfish. And you're getting boost HP. Yeah, that's really good. What I will say is you don't want this as your main hand weapon. I use it as my main hand weapon, but there are far better options. So let's talk about strengths and weaknesses of Sephiroth. First of all, this guy is the best magical DPS in the game, by a long shot, honestly. The way they tooled his kit, it just makes him very, very good at laying down tons of damage on the magical side. And he has physical attack options. That's never the problem. One of the problems that you will see with Sephiroth is his attack speed. And people are like, okay, his attack speed is slow. But there is a way to get around that. And this is what people really need to talk about. There is a hidden strength in Sephiroth. The fact that his casting speed with regular spells is phenomenal. This when you see him in battle against a free toss of ice spell, you're kind of getting to see like, okay, this is really Sephiroth. And that's why I want to go back to weapons like this. When you combine his attack speed with spells, with water, attack boost, he's tossing this spell really fast for 3 ATB for 30% plus damage. That's amazing. What makes Sephiroth so good is the fact that his casting speed with regular spells is fast. And people need to talk about that more. You don't need to really use like super special skills with weapons to get this guy going. That's why I think makes him so broken. In fact, you don't really need to do that. It's not really a requirement. That's why you would like to see magic attack boost on his materia. He makes the best use of magic based materia out of any character on this game. So when you're saying, well, how do you use Sephiroth? That's how you use him. That's why you would like to see Garid. I know it's like not the best weapon, but it allows Sephiroth to take advantage of his hidden talent. And that is to cast spells at frightening speed for frightening damage. So when you look at people who really use Sephiroth, who really know how to use Sephiroth, they're not using Aerial Frostblade. It takes too darn long, and you don't really need to use it. The best thing about Edge Wings is the Sigil Boost Breaker, which is a weakness in Sephiroth that Cloud is stronger than him in, is he can break various sigils better than Sephiroth can. Excuse me. And people need to understand that. The older Sephiroth will be better, but hey, it is what it is. So, what should you be doing instead of like summoning for Sephiroth? I'm going to answer that, and that'll be the last question I answer. So, let's go to Enhanced Weapon. Let's go to Weapons. Let's go to Filter. And let's take a look at my weapons. I don't have the most refined weapon stash, but there's one thing I want you to see. Like, when you look at this, this is what you should be working on. You should be finishing off your weapons. And that's one of the other problems with Sephiroth. It's just he dropped at the wrong time. Like, if this was a month from now, it would be better. But they dropped him at a point in our progression where we're really trying to OV10 our weapons. We're not whales, right? None of us are whales here. I make content for whales when necessary, but I'm just talking to the average player for a second. Should you be summoning for his weapons? I don't think so. Look at my wish list. These are weapons to fill out characters that I use. Cloud, Barret, and Aerith are my main units that I use. I think you should try to see if you can get his costume. I think his costume is really good. I actually rolled a 3 on this on the first draw. So, yeah, I want his weapon. But I really want his costume because later on you'll need it. But as far as that goes, I think we as players at this moment in time really need to focus on building our core 3 units. I mean, Sephiroth is a nice character to have. I think he's more of a toy for whales. But if you're looking for a magical DPS, look no further. I think this is the best magical DPS we'll get for a while till the next Sephiroth shows up. But anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you. Have a great day, and goodbye.